Money Vikings, welcome back to Gen X Money Part 2. This is a pretty popular video, so I wanted to continue on with covering this because I think it's actually a topic that is not covered very often. I don't think that Gen X gets a lot of attention for a lot of reasons. So we're actually a smaller generation. So you'll see on YouTube and you'll see in personal finance blogs and all that there's a lot of information for baby boomers, large generation, and for millennials. Millennials make a lot of content, but I don't see a lot for Gen X. So I would like to try to fill that void a little bit because I think there's some unique aspects of our generation. So, I mean, other people can get a lot out of this. And if you're a millennial or you're a Gen Z or whatever, I would still watch this stuff because you'll be learning from people that are now in and entering midlife about, the things they wish they had done differently and the things that they've done right so far in terms of building wealth and just living a great life. And so the first thing I want to do before I go into the next ways that Gen X can prepare for retirement, and I do have the Heathers up here because that's a pretty wild movie. Winona Ryder, that was a very popular Gen X person, and she's now in Stranger Things, so still going strong on that end. But anyway, what I want to talk about are, so number one, go to truewealth.moneyvikings.com. That's our website, that's our blog. And what I want to, in particular, show you there, let me see if I can pull it up here. The thing I want to show you is that along the right side of our blog is all of our different categories. So there's recent posts, and I do collectible stuff. Our book as well, I would say pick up this book. It's an ebook. It's not very expensive. It's like the price of a cup of coffee. Conquer Financial Freedom, Living a Life of True Wealth. We wrote this book, and it's basically our journey of wealth building, has all kinds of tools and tips and tricks in terms of how to get your finances in order and your life in order. And again, it's been through the school of hard knocks. It's been stuff we've learned and stuff that's gone right and stuff that's gone wrong. And then where the opportunities are, that's another big one. So along the right side, the other thing I want to throw out here is on the right side of our blog are all of the different, you can see them here, all the different categories. So 401k, art, best of Money Vikings, budgeting, collectibles, credit cards, cryptocurrency, dividends, education, family, free content. It's all free. Health, home, hot trades, investing, net worth, options. We do options trading, psychology, real estate, and technology. So you can just go into those areas and see what it is you're interested in. So we are focusing though on Gen X retirement tips. So I'm gonna put Winona Ryder and the Heathers away here, and I'll go into a few more. So number 4. I covered keep health in mind in the last video. I want to cover this next one, diversifying income. So that is pretty darn important to diversify income. So I would think of a whole range of ways to diversify income. This is a time to think about different passive income machines that you're building. So first of all, people don't realize that your 401k or your investment account or Roth IRA or whatever it might be, where you're kind of hopefully automatically contributing every 2 weeks with every paycheck, hopefully 5, 10, 15% if possible, as much as you can, that is what that's doing is that's creating a future passive income machine. So people get really excited about, oh my gosh, the stock market went down in 2023 and I lost, some money in my 401k. You didn't lose money, actually. That's the thing. You don't lose money until you sell. You still have the same number of shares. On the market on a daily basis, it's worth a little less or maybe a lot less, and that's fine. But what you have to realize is really with a 401k, it's becoming a passive income machine in the future for you. There should never really be a day when you are selling that whole account and just saying, that's it, I'm done, I've sold the whole account. What you're doing is you're building up this account that is built of diversified assets that spin off dividends and grow over time and tries to manage risk in an acceptable manner. You're not throwing it all into some crazy foreign country investment where there's no stability. You're putting it in like big American companies that are going to be around for a long time. And what's happening is at age whatever, when you retire, 57, 65, 67, you're taking an amount out every month. So you're withdrawing from that. So let's say you get $500,000 in that thing by the time you're ready to retire. Well, you're basically then you're deciding, okay, I'm going to take 6,000 a month out of it for the rest of my life. And maybe you'll go up with inflation a little bit, or you'll add 3% every year. So it'll be 6,000, 6,100 in the next year, 6,500, whatever. But you're taking six. So it's just, that's become a passive income machine. So I think at this stage for Gen Xers, you got to really think about other ways to build those. So there's real estate investment trusts. They spin off they're known for spinning off a monthly payment. There is, of course, traditional real estate investing where you buy a property and you fix it up and take care of it, take care of tenants, and you collect rental income. That's pretty hands-on. That's not passive. That's a lot of work. There's dividend aristocrats where they're well-known dividend players that they pay a certain amount. Even options trades can be considered a kind of way to earn some income on your investments. So, there's side hustles, there's small businesses, there's a lot of them. There's a lot out there. And especially with the internet these days, you can find so many different ways to add a little income. So it's definitely time to think about diversifying income. So you're not just diversifying your portfolio of assets where you're getting exposure to growth stocks and value stocks and small caps and mid caps and large caps and dividend aristocrats, and you're getting some bonds in there for a little bit of stability, whatever the percentage might be. So again, that's diversifying your assets, but there's also diversifying your income. So because you're trying to think of a day when you're not going to have a normal, steady 9-to-5 job going into a cubicle or logging in every day, right? Maybe part of that's working part-time or going freelance, So a lot of these people that do this, the whole FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. I've hardly seen any of them actually retire in that quote unquote way. So retirement, it seems to me, really has to be rethought. The word probably is going to be redefined as of now, I would say, and probably going to be redefined over the next 2 decades, because people are they're not going to just hang it up and sit around. People, I think if you're healthy, you kind of want to do things and you want to be engaged with other people. You want to be making things, you want to be creative. You want to be adding value to other people's lives. I truly think that's part of true wealth. That's what gives people a lot of happiness and value, is when they can, add value, I guess is the word in some ways. All right, so that's that one. So number 5, or number 2 for the sake of this video, maximizing your retirement accounts, or at least contribute something. So we talked a little bit about that last time, but try to maximize if you're in that final 10-year stretch. It's not easy to do, I understand, especially for Gen X, because we're getting squeezed from both ends. We're probably still raising kids. We're still trying to pay off a mortgage. We're still trying to enjoy life and go on some trips. So there's a lot of stressors on our finances, right? So 6, I touched on this one, diversifying your investments. So that's important as well. Diversifying your investments, it helps you manage risk. A lot of this has to do with knowing your risk profile. People might say they're really into risk and they can handle a lot of risk, but that's not always true. The proof is how a person, I think, feels in a year like this where the market has gone down. If the person is really stressed out that their 401k, let's say they had, at the beginning of the year, let's say they had 250,000 in their 401k, and at this point in the year, it's down to 190. If they're really just having stomach problems and their anxiety's up and they're stressed out, that means your risk tolerance is probably low. So I would say you're going to want to go to things that are more conservative, more steady as you go, maybe not get as much return, but it's just going to be kind of steady growth. But that's an individual thing, and this is not investment advice. We always have to say that. This is not investment advice for anyone. You got to see a professional and determine what your personal risk tolerance is. Now, experts will tell you if you're planning on a long retirement, or you have the potential of having a long retirement, actually need to take some risk because you got to get the bigger growth. So that's something to consider. This one here, pay off debt. So this is the time to really consider getting, any kind of outstanding debt under control for the Gen Xers. Because if we're 10, 7 to 12 years away from quote unquote the new retirement, which could take all kinds of forms, that's not the time to have the huge, fancy auto loan, or, take the crazy, vacation, take a vacation, but like don't put like $10,000 or $12,000 on a credit card if you can't afford it. That's the kind of stuff to consider. So, and the last one is seeking professional advice. So I'll just wrap it up with that. I like to keep these videos pretty smooth and tight. So please like and subscribe, and hope you get something out of this. And we'll continue on with all this great discussion. Please comment what you're doing as a Gen Xer to prepare for retirement, because it's creeping up on us, guys. I gotta tell you. Thanks for watching. Take care.